So, Herbie, what do you think? 4 SEC schools in the top 10. Should there be?
Oh, absolutely. My reaction to this poll, this initial poll, is that Mike Slive, the commissioner of the SEC, is flexing that big SEC bicep this morning because the depth of the SEC is obviously every year we talk about it in college football. It's the strongest conference in the country. But to see the 2008 preseason poll come out and to see as many as 4 teams in the top 10, it definitely makes you get excited about what this conference has to offer. Each division, you can make an argument, is the strongest in the country, let alone when you put them together for a total of 12 teams. It's scary.
I know you're going to get some arguments from Big 12 fans, so let the emails begin. And keep in mind, for Georgia, number one, each of those other 3 top 10 schools in the SEC, they play each of them on the road, including Florida. So they've got the Heisman winner back in Tim Tebow and 15 other starters. But last year they only went 9-4. So where would you rank the Gators?
Well, I actually vote in the AP, and I put Florida at number 1 in the country. Really? And you got to remember, we put this vote in back August 1st, and there's been a lot of injuries for a lot of these teams. It'd be very interesting to redo this poll this week to see where some of these teams would fall. I personally think Florida's down too low at 5. I think they should be up at number 1. Not only Tim Tebow, but Chris Rainey comes in, Emmanuel Moody comes in to run the football, take some of the pressure off of him. Their defense, the much maligned young defense that they had a year ago, is a year older. They have a much easier schedule than Georgia. So if you're looking at that, how do you split these 2 teams? Georgia might have more talent on both sides of the ball, but Florida has an easier path to get to the national title. Those
are 2 of the more well-known teams across the land. BYU, preseason 16th, getting a ton of buzz as a BCS buster. Should we believe the hype coming out of the Mountain West?
Why is it that every year somebody has to be the next Boise State? Somebody has to be the next Utah from a few years ago. These teams that are the non-BCS, in my opinion, have to, just like everybody else, earn their right to get there after 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 wins. Then we can start to talk to them. Hawaii last year was force-fed on all of us. I kept saying, no, don't do it. They go to the BCS, and Georgia, it made it look like it was a scrimmage against Georgia. In my opinion, the best non-BCS team is Fresno State. Quarterback comes back with experience, 17 total starters. This team has a tough schedule. They play Wisconsin, Rutgers on the road. It's going to be tough for them to get there. But in my opinion, they are much better than BYU. BYU isn't going to waltz there either. They've got UCLA. They're on the road with Washington. So it's not a given for BYU to get there. But quit forcing the next Boise on us and the next Utah. Let them earn their right. I think they're ranked way too high.
Kirk Herbstreit, you've earned the right to appear on SportsCenter as often as you darn well please. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll talk to you soon.